episode of Galactic Goddess Podcast and to the Lemoyne Ascension Mother Earth Roundtable. I'm your host, Radha Nilia, and my co host is Maya the Shaman.
Hi, I am the creator of Infinite Cosmic Records and Lemoyne Code Healing. I'm an author, and would love to introduce to you the King and Queen of Maharlika, which is known as the Philippines right now. And so I would like to ask Queen to give us a little bit information about the King. So would you kindly let us know a little bit about the King, Queen Helen? And first of all,
Thank you, Sister Maya.
Can you hear me?
Okay, so I can hear you. And the king is really very enthusiastic to come and sit with us in the round table because we have already been successively projecting to the entire world. King Mamay, as we call him, is the code of Kuyaraj. He is the grandson of Philippines, of Sulu, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, England, and even with the Middle Eastern royal family. He grew up in Sulu and migrated for 37 years. Now, adding on 10, 40 years to 45 years rather in Sabah, Malaysia. So he is a Malaysian, Filipino, a Malay, and a Maharlikan. His name is Raja Muhammad Gamal Mamay, a son of Raja Sharif Al Sultan Gamar bin Abdul Gabbar Jamalul Kiram III.
Right.
We have a very lengthy names because we represent our forefathers, the spirit behind us that really help us, guides us. So they are the ones in front of us, the back of us, side by side, to help us implement this divine mission. So Raja Mamay is destined to be the king because he is direct successor and heir to the throne of the Sultanate of Sulu and North Borneo and of Southeast Asia. So since the direct succession is from the prima facie, the living witness, Amma Ali, that is Sharif Usman, Datu Ismail Mun Ali, Sultan Muhammad Ismail Ikram. He is alive, no matter what. That is the strong and the the strength and the one really standing with the king and queen of the Lupasug Empire. So Raja Mama is here to really speak on his stint, on his way of serving humanity together with the queen. So
Thank you, Queen.
as Mapalindo king, he is with me because I am the Mapalindo queen. So that's how, at least just for the intro. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen. That's beautiful. So for now, I would like to ask King Mamay, if you don't mind me calling you the short version of that, would you kindly share your vision, your mission, and what do you see being the king of Maharlika?
Your target, why you exist into this world.
Morning, this is Maya and this is Nada. I am here for the first time with my beloved queen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, after we started our mission for over 59 years, our vision and mission that were says our way to sacrifice and the struggle for no enemy. That is our objective. So the intention of this interview is to tell the truth that I am the grandson of Sultan. And first of all, I would like to introduce where my lineage came from, so that the world knows who I am. My lineage came from 3rd century and 13th century. The two brothers. The two brothers from the side of my father, the first Sultan of Brunei in 3rd century, while his brother is who ruled Southeast Asia as Sharif Abu Bakr bin Abdurrahman as the founder of United Malay National Organization, and he is the head of foreign rulers in Southeast Asia. His brother is the first Sultan of Brunei, Sharif Muhammad bin Abdurrahman, which my lineage from both sides, from my father and my mother. Where my grandfather, he is an Arab Malay from between Medina and Taif. It's called, his name is Sheikh Umal Ali. They went to spread out the true religion to Malaysia, Borneo, which is taking Johor. His name, they renamed his name, it's Iskandar Jokanai. Zainal Abidin Iskandar Jokanai in 14th century. He arrived in Johor and arrived Malay, where they married the native of Johor and they changed the name Zainal Abidin Iskandar Jokanai. By 1450, they proceed to, to spread the religion of Islam, which is in Malay Ilm, because of Ilm, because the true religion, the true Sultan of Sulu is holding the religion of truth, which is Agama Islam. If you are to be chosen to bring this true religion, there is no conflict between the Roman Catholic and the Islam. Anyway, we just believe in one God. So, my grandfather visited the Sulu, Pasu, which is the Astana Wansa. We call Astana Wansa with the Sharif Abu Bakr bin Abdurrahman, and asking my grandfather, what's your purpose to come to my kingdom and to visit my place as Lupasu? He said, I'm going to spread out the religion, which is the Tiang Ilmu in Malay. So when they saw the daughter is very beautiful, the daughter of Sharif Abu Bakr, which is Pangyan Jamila, so they attract and they want to marry the princess. So the Sharif Abu Bakr accepted that they want to marry the daughter, her daughter, the Skandar Julkarnain, who is my grandfather. So when the coronation is already done, my grandfather give title to his title from Zainal Abidin Iskandar Julkarnain. His title is Sayyidina Maulana Masara. Sorry, Sayyidina Mahasari Maulana Abu Bakr. That is the first Sultan of Sulu in North Borneo by 1450 century. He is the founder and he is the first. When they married the daughter of Sharif Abu Bakr bin Abdurrahman, they got two, one son and one daughter. That is the side. Now my grandfather, he is the first and the last king of Southeast Asia and the first prime minister of Malaysia, with on 31st August 1957, he gave independence to Malaysia. And also, he is the founder of United Nations and ICP in 1946. Because his history, he was lost during the World War II, 1946, 1945, when he appeared in 1946. They proceed to Netherlands and to establish the United Nations and ICG with the 54 nations. After they published the 54 nations, they proceed to Manila. He was the one who gave independence to the Philippine Republic. That's why the third Commonwealth president, which is Manuel A. Rojas, he appointed him as the first appointed Philippine president of the Republic. And by June 12, 1946, he gave independence. Because by July 16, 1946, the British government will pull out of Sarawak. There is an interest of Indochina, which is Taiwan and Indonesia. They want to grab again the Sabah and Sarawak. That's why they give independence to Philippines on June 46 to protect the Sabah and Sarawak under the protection of the Sabah and Sarawak. And after that, and they were held Minanjo Malaya by the same year 1946, and he was the one endorsed to him the United Malay National Organization he formed at is AMNO, Barisan National, and component party by the India MIC, by the Chinese NCE. So they made an election and they asked independent to Mother Queen. That is all about where I am.
Okay, so another question is that does this have to do anything with Mapilindo? Mapilindo is this does this have anything to do with Mapilindo?
About this Mapelido, there is 3 agreements of Mapelido. First agreement, it was in July 31st, 1963, in London, which is signed by Queen and Sultan Brunei, Prime Minister of Malaysia, my grandfather, President of the Philippines, Justin Capagal, and President Sukarno, with the delegate. That the content of that agreement of 31st July, that Malaysia is not given a country name, they are given a trust. That's why if they want to be a country, they must have to replace me as the grandson, as to be the king of Malaysia in Southeast Asia, or the Malaysia to become a country. Because of that agreement, they are not given a country name. So on the next signing is August 5, August 5, 1963, which is in the Foreign Affairs of Manila, that the side of my mother, Jamalul Alam, that is Sultan Pulalon, he is the one who registered the entire Philippine island on September 22, 1921, with the total island 7,169 island, which is owned by my grandfather, the side of my mother, Haji Asan Pasang, registered in the Bureau of Land, that is Sulu Land Register. They will give 50 years to have an election in Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, to pattern America, Democrat and Republican. That's why when 50 years was given to them by August 5, 1963, Philippines have the Nationalista Party and Liberal Party, while in Malaysia, Barisan Nasional and Alternative Party, for only, with the period only of 50 years. 50 years. That's why by September 16, 2013, they must return to the source of origin. They must let the grandson to sit as the king of Malaysia and also king of South Asia, together with my beloved queen, because this treaty is to recognize Malaysia king, Philippine queen, until marriage. Until marriage. That is the secret of Papilino. Until marriage. They must have Malaysia king, the Philippine queen, for to unite the religion between the Christian, one Catholic, and the Muslim Islam. We just believe in one God. For me, as my responsibility to put back the law in order. And there is role of law. They must honor the MA 63, that the Queen is the Governor General of Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and also the Queen of Finance, and she is the replacer of Queen Elizabeth II as Queen Elizabeth III. Queen Elizabeth III as Queen of Finance. Because my grandma has no child, believe me or not, because I was told by the grandfather of Gloria Arroyo, which is Abdullah Jalay, 245 years old, When he is in Brunei, he is Sultan Ahmad Tajuddin. When he is in the Philippines, Abdul Adjalai. They said, all of you are my grandson. Very far or very near, to all of you are my grandson. Who among you, they said, who wrote to the Queen of England, you will be the one, you will be the one, and he said. So they look at me because on September 23, 1999, my letter personally written by the Saga Group, a retired British military, Royal Military, because the wife is very close to Queen of England. So they asked me to write a profile and my lineage. So they will hand carry and give it to the Queen. By September 23, 1999, half month later, there is an invitation that the Queen going to visit me by October 23, 1999. They are preparing to visit me together with the Queen. But I was the one who and wrote by hand by the Sabato, which is the close friend of Queen Elizabeth. When they arrived in Sabah, uh, was supposed to be our meeting to meet in a Horizon 7th floor, Horizon Club in Shangri-La Hotels, Sabah. The appointment by 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So my appointment was being rejected by the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Mahathir, Sultan Brunei, and the head of the state of Karamandai. That's why I did not meet the Queen. If I really meet the Queen on that time, they were brought me to England to have the law, the royal law of the king, how to live and how to serve the country and the people. So luckily, I think that is not yet given by God, permitted by God, Allah, because I did not found yet my beloved Queen. That is the reason why. So by 2008, my grandpa, through spirit, advised me to return to my source, to my country, which is the Lupaso. That by they were given 2 days only, November 11 and November 3rd. I must leave Sabah according to the spirit. I must leave Sabah because the one who blocked me is my own brother, took my name because I am the world beneficiary from the lost and found document in 1985. That lost and found document, that is the Sulu archipelago. Sulu archipelago, the boundary is Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean. The miles is 99 miles long and 69 billion square kilometers wide. They wrote in a 4 language. Arab character Tausug, English, French, and Spanish. Divided into two. And the one in the Buckingham and two in the one is with us. That's why the secret of Buckingham is only a hood, not a palace. That is the secret through G5, Government 5. The authority is Government 5. June 7, 1925, which my father was born, my grandpa signing, my uncle, the Malol Kiram II, signing with the G5, with the 5 countries, Lupaso government, England government, Germany government, France government, in Italy government. That is G5 for the period of 50 years, Mapilindo. That's why I am the crown king, because Queen is only an associate director of Mapilindo. My authority as good as Buckingham. Buckingham, he is Borneo. You is Utara. Crown King, the secret is Ham, H-E-M, meaning to say Hussein Ali, Muhammad Gamal Mamay, Rajab Sharif Sultan Gamal bin Abdul Ghaffar Jamalul Kiram III, Sultan of Sulu and North Borneo in Southeast Asia, and Sulu and North Borneo sovereign judge. That is my authority given to me as the replacer of my grandfather to be the Sultan of Sulu, so that I can control to help the poor people, because the mandate is only 50 years given by my grandfather on the side of my mother. That's
So, yeah, so the
why
question
in England,
I would like to ask you,
yes,
King Mamay, is so the gold came from your lineage. Is that what it is? And then it was distributed to different countries?
yeah, that's right.
Okay, because we want to clarify
Yeah.
that because in order for people to understand why you are the king and why you have all this relationship with different countries, including England, Germany, and the other countries you mentioned in Asia, it would be really good for the people to understand. So, who are you? People don't know you, and so here we are talking about all these things. So, your relationship with Queen Elizabeth II, can you clarify that again?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II was born in the Diangas. The Diangas is now General Santos. Political name General Santos. The real name is the Diangas. It was registered in 1953. Half of the Diangas belong to the side of my grandfather. Half of that is the Queen because they are first cousins. Many do not believe because I have to tell the truth, because there is a first understanding the two brothers of Sultan Brunei fighting each other to get the throne. So the Sultan of Brunei need help from the Sultan of Sulu. So that time, my grandpa is the warrior. He did not present that he is a sultan, but he is considered as a warrior. See, the Sultan of Sulu invited to bring the warrior and help the Brunei. So succeed. So the general of British died, only left the wife, the British woman left. So my grandpa took the British woman and they did not go to Sulu. They will proceed to, that is Saguda Boyahat before, not yet the Delgas. Saguada Boyahat. Where they live in Saguada Boyahat, one of the island, no people, they go by fishing, catching the fish by through coral. And then they have only one son. The only son is that is Sir King George VI. Sir King George VI is Raja Japani, the only son. Raja Japani. When they married the native of Saguda Boyahan, they got Katusa, which is Elizabeth as Aisha, Queen Elizabeth II as Aisha, and Riley as Danu Makapagal. They are brothers.
Oh,
They are brothers. So they registered that Saguda Boyahan become the youngest. They have evidence to prove because the artifacts is with me, with me. There's a birth of birth, date of birth of Queen Elizabeth, the one who was born in the young, we have, we have. Because Queen Elizabeth, his throne is in Borneo. His throne in Borneo. On April 23, 1953, when Sabah before, the first name of Sabah, Borneo, is Gaya Api-Api. Gaya Api-Api, it's only renamed with the signing of the 100 years British North Borneo Chartered Company. Only renamed.
So directly, Queen Elizabeth is your
My grandma, my real grandma. And he don't have son and daughter in England. All he bought in the hospital. Believe me or not. Charles bought in the hospital. Andrew bought in the hospital. Princess Anne bought in the hospital. Because the one to prove is the grandpa of Gloria Arroyo, Abdul Ajalay, 245 years old when he is in Brunei, Sultan Ahmad Tajdid. He is the one in 2003. He was the one to tell me that give explain to all his grandson, far or very near, is just the same for him. All of you is my grandson. He was the one who turned in front of him, Abdul Ajalain. That's why I wonder why Charles forcing to become a king of England. When his father died, Prince Philip died, he asked Queen Mother, Queen Elizabeth, to replace, and they want to be the king. But the Queen Elizabeth, my grandma said, go to the secret room. If you can survive in the secret room, you will be the king. You can wear your grandpa, Sir King George VI dress. So he is afraid to go inside the secret room. There is a secret room in Buckingham because only the Sultan of Sulu, the Queen must have to return everything, the chapter, the throne, everything. They have to return back to the Philippines, to the Maharlika, the Lupaso, because England has two kings. Yeah. People, you see people, Sir King George IV seated as Jamalul Alam, which is the side of my mother, Sir King George IV. And Sir King George V, that is the brother of the father of Queen Elizabeth II. Sir King George VI, that is his father. So the Queen Elizabeth the First is the third daughter of Porcia. See, imagine the third daughter of Porcia. I have to explain it one by one because Queen Elizabeth, there is a treaty. The Sultan of Sulu have a best friend with the Pope of Vatican. That's why Italy. The Sultan of Sulu is the founder of Roman Catholic, believe me or not. The founder, he was the one who created the religion of Catholic through the Statue of Cross. The Statue of Cross. Meant to see the cross, the one with letter T is the 7 days. For the Christian, Sunday. For the Muslim, Friday. And the long one, we are in one family, royal family. We are in one royal family. That is the secret of truth. Sunday, the wife. Saturday, husband. Monday, son. Tuesday, daughter. Wednesday, son-in-law. Thursday, daughter-in-law. Friday, grandson, granddaughter. Generation to generation. That's why the Benedict XVI, they are mainly presenting that they are the grandson of Sultan of Sulu. Benedict XVI asked them to explain the cross. You are the reprisal of your grandpa at the Sultan. They cannot explain, only me. Only me I could explain everything. That's why I'm going to let them to prove through document, through agreement, through treaty, because they have to return back to the source of origin. Because I am chosen by Allah as the replacer through religion, while the queen of the Mother Earth, because the Philippines is the Mother Earth, that is called Pilipinas. Pilipinas kung mahal, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The only country who are being registered and approved by God is the Philippines. No other country has been registered. That is called Lupaso. Yeah, for the divine rule. Lupaso for the divine. Because no more already political dynasty.
So what do you think is going to happen? Yeah, what do you think is going to happen to the government of the Philippines right now with Bongbong Marcos still sitting in throne, and you are waiting to take over the kingdom of Maharlika? How is that going to look like in terms of transition? Have you have any contact with them? Do they know what's going on? Is this something that they're aware of, that you are in existence now and so is the Queen? People like to know.
Yes. Yeah, that is very nice question. Because my former Sabah Chief of Justice, Sabah Sarawak, in 2005, I chose him as my legal advisor. Although I did not meet him, only he recognized me through my name because my brother presented that he is okay, taking my name as Kamagitan Sultanate. So this Chief of Justice, Richard Malandon, is now in United Nations Security Council. They know all the laws and found document. For me, is for me, they know that the agreement is already expired since 2013. But with the presence of the Queen, they must have to respect and return back to the Queen of the Philippine Island because he is the subject to replace as the Queen Mother, as the Queen of Earth for, for us to put the law in order. That is my fight. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and freedom of choice, but no one is above the law. No one is above the law.
May I add on to it, Princess Maya, Princess Rada, as you are asking what would be now Bongbong as the status of it. Now, Raja has been explaining about the Sultan that also the grandfather of former President Gloria Arroyo. So now they are in tandem, going to America, going to England. But the thing is, we are trying to counter verify if they are the one really moving. Because right now, as we say, the people can be misrepresenting. So this is the main uh, root of conspiracy. Remember, former President Gloria Arroyo wrote the conspiracy, as you can see that is the conspiracy to really destroy the Lucasov Empire because they want the access of evil to rule. That's why in my previous interview with you, I really asked them that if they will not stop, then they have to be put into justice. And justice is very mean this time because it's not I, it is the lolo, it is the grandfathers that will impose justice. Now, do you think Bongbong doesn't know what I am doing? And Raja, they are in conspiracy. So this time they have to amend, they have to rectify, they have to do something. And I know with the back crashing, they have really to do something. They knew specifically who is Queen Helen and King Mamay. But the thing is, they rather deal with the fakers, those people that took our name, and that is the brother and the Queen Helen that they had. So the president is at stake. I know that because of his association with the president of the United States, Joe Biden. And now, together with Gloria, he went there. So they thought that the conspiracy has been forgotten. We are recognizing the ground. Raja Mamay has been with me all over the most dangerous terrain of the war zone. So I tag him along because I know that with him, I will be confident because I am not a Tausu. Um, Language is very difficult for me to learn. So I have really to push him because that is the territory. So directly, so I have to recap on that. The grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, is direct descendancy and ascendancy with Raja Mamay and with me. So this is the reason why the world is in chaos because up to now, they don't recognize that point. They keep on blocking all media providers, major TV station, media newspaper. So they can do anything. But when the banks crashed, that's it. Even Bongbong has to rush going back to the Philippines. So now he knows because the communication is very strong and forceful. All my documents in the Senate, in the Congress, in the Supreme Court, in Malacanang records section, I asked him to retrieve it back because if not, then I will also use that power that God has given me because It's not what they thought. My queenship is before I was born, and his kingship is before he is born. That means that he's already an appointed crown, throne that is be, that has been given to us. So with their inability to see that, so everybody has to suffer the consequences of what they have done that led to the global financial shutdown. That is the highest crime for putting all the countries into chaos. They are now in panic. Now, who is going to be accounted that? So, this head of state that lost. So they cannot deny that already. So the worst scenario is they want really to find us for good or for bad. And that is the reason why I am so protective of the king. So the direct descendants and the true lineage, the Limoya, has to stand by us. That's how powerful we are now. And with you, the round table has been spreading all over. That's why, with all the cough that I have really to do this and have to project it that we as king and queen, they cannot deny because in us is our grandmothers and our grandfathers tandem together to fix, rectify the mistake of the past. That's how King Mamay survived with 3 deaths that he has. Queen was there all the time to revive him and to let him go back to life because we still need him as the grandson of Sulu and North Borneo and as the replacer rather of Tunku Abdurrahman Putra Al-Haj, known as Hussein Kamaluddin of Brunei, and the one who founded the United Nations, the ICJ, the Organization of Islamic Conference, and the Mapilindo itself. Diosdado Macapagal, as we have seen, is the son of Raja Julaili, okay, and the brother of Queen of England. So that's how powerful Madame Gloria is. But the problem is, he is not the, the daughter of Diosdado Macapagal. This is the bullseye. Now stop, my dear, because you have been ruining that kingdom. I am here to fight for Raja Mamay's throne and the throne of our forefathers. Conspiracy is conspiracy. Now, what do you want? Jail or rectify?
Well, this is a very intense topic that people are just starting to understand. And I'm sure that we can elaborate more on this as we continue the series because it's a very deep cultural and historical information that a lot of people are having a little hard time to catch up with. So what we're going to do is catch up with it even more for the next series. How's that?
Thank you.
Actually, Princess Maya, I can enter. By 2002, it was signed by John Paul II as the years necessary before they opened the capsule in London, why to heal of the king. But suddenly I was not being meet my Queen Mother and Queen Elizabeth, my grandma. That's why they opened the capsule in 2000, so the governor, the Sultan of Brunei, which is my uncle, Umalali II III, married to my auntie. They asked an extension of 2002 to 2006, requested by my uncle as Umalali II III as the managing director and cooperating partner of Brunei, of Mapilindo, by the years necessary, officially sealed in 2006 as years necessary. The Mapilindo was signed by him as the Sultan of Brunei. Years necessary, sealed by the government of Brunei. So the problem here, the conspiracy here, Brunei was given independence on February 26, 1984 by my grandfather, the Prime Minister of the request from the Queen of England approved because giving an independent, if you cannot complete your population and you cannot create your own bank, you will not be approved by the United States. So Brunei is the last given independent to become 54 to 57 countries. So the problem here, misrepresentation of identity. The Sultan Brunei is not a Burkia lineage. I am the Burkia lineage. That's why my fight, they have to give back the Sultan of Sulu, the title of the king to me. Because why we don't use the Umalali Saifuddin III, his father, a managing director of Brunei, they use Burkia. This is the problem now. So they must have to honor the Mapilindo Agreement and let us sit the king of Malaysia and the queen of the Philippines. No way, because there will be an inventory for 59 years that they are now illegal government. Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, Brunei, and Singapore. Because my fight is 1,000 ringgit and 500 ringgit. That is the source of origin of all the people's currency. 16th century and 19th century. The 100,000 ringgit is still alive, which is Amahali. Amahali is still alive, Assassinate Sultan of Sabah, and Muhammad Ismail Ikiran is still alive. That's why his picture is the 1,000 ringgit. Name Ismail, MA, that's why the secret MA, Apelindo Agreement, Malaysian Agreement, MA. And Ali grandson. That money is being manipulated by my attorney in fact, President Idralin Marcos. He is my attorney in fact, based from my grandfather. He appointed my grandfather, my uncle Jolas Pichua. That's why during his time as Senate President in 1957, they already sent all the gold to 57 countries. That gold belonged to Jamalo Tiram II. Between 1930 to 1935, he has a problem how they are going to say to keep this gold. So they have a best friend to father, Antonio Diaz in MacLeod. So they negotiate as a commissioner and trustee and was exported from Sulu to Intramuros. And they keep the central bank with a total of 617,550 tons of gold, 3 crown and 3 liter second, and 500,000 of diamond, 10 carats each. That is the source of origin. And the ringgit, the currency. With Marcos as the Senate President in 1957, they took the 167 trillion Malaysian ringgit dollar from DBS Singapore, deposited in Development Bank of the Philippines. That is the backup of my grandfather, the Sultan. 500 ringgit is my grandfather as the first Prime Minister of Malaysia. Now they must have to return back to use back the 1,000 ringgit to 500 ringgit for us to recover all the problem of the country, which is the poor country we are doing. Because this asset of the Sultan of Sulu, it cannot be counted anymore. So that is for the people, by the people, to the people. For me, I just want to put the law in order because no more political dynasty.
Yes.
My fight, because the entire Philippines belongs to my grandpa. When they said the government, the sovereignty does not belong to them. That's why they are illegal. So they may have to support the Queen. If not, they will be under arrest.
How about President Gloria Arroyo?
Gloria Arroyo is my cousin.
Oh.
He is my cousin. When his father wanted, because he's a smuggler, wanted life sentence, I tell you the truth now. I'm not afraid anymore. And we let the truth come out.
By DNA.
Yeah, by DNA. So that my grandpa requested to President Diosdado Macapagal, release my nephew. He's a life sentence in Sulu.
That's the father.
And the father of Lord. And then transferred the case transferred to Manila. With the birthday of Diosdado, they were released and put as the personal guard of Diosdado Macapagal. So they crushed the maid of Dr. Raiba and Macapagal as no child. So the personal guard married the maid, and the firstborn is Gloria. That's called Gloria La Bandera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's your cousin.
He is already died. Now they appeal, I didn't talk because Gloria is very intelligent. Very intelligent. Now the one appeal in the everywhere,
No talk,
no
no
talk,
mistake.
no talk. That way is not career.
This is the
Because Gloria, at the age of 7, Cristiano Macabal took him from the island of Simutu, Tawi-Tawi, and bring to Pampanga, from elementary to secondary, sent to US. He is the secret of Mapilito, because the Black Diary of Macapagal, he was the one who let out the king and queen, because he is the responsibility.
Now I know.
But husband married to an American, so they lived it for 30 years. Because this is the problem now. So Mike Arroyo doesn't want Gloria to become a politician. So Gloria is still going to join the politics because of what is the responsibility given to him by his father, Cristiano Macapagal, to honor the Mapilito of men.
And that's the reason why
So
we are being blocked up to now because of her.
Yeah.
So that's why I am so really that has to be stopped, because the world is already crashing down with all the central banks. So I will account to her. That's why in my previous interview, both of them are liable to this. So that means now with Raja Mamay giving me that really the substance, who is who. So I pinpoint now the lady that has been blocking me, now working with the brother who took his name. Bingo! We talked together, Madam Gloria, for 3 hours. Now this is the time that you have to return back to me, because I told you, you are a claimant, but I am the heir and successor. Wow.
That's beautiful. Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing this very important information. I believe that people will have a little bit more of a clarity of trying to understand your position in the society, and especially, king and queen. You're both, Asian king and queen. Is that covering also Malaysia and
The entire globe, because the source of origin is coming from Lupasu. And the grandfather distributed the gold to all the central banks of the world through our famous trader programmer. That is the President Ferdinand Idrolin Marcos. He is the famous trader of all the traders of the global world. So pinalaki, it was really ballooning now. That's why, sorry to say, I am not arrogant. I am just being truthful. Because if I will not say so, still they will cover again the true Sultan of Sulu. I asked them, the secret of all this is the true Sultan of Sulu, even in Malaysia. So now we presented Raja Mamay. The brother took his name. The brother stole his identity, his passport, everything. In conspiracy with the head of states of Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, with the royalties of Brunei, Johor, England, because of Madam President Gloria Arroyo. Bingo! Bingo!
Okay.
That is intense. I'm so sorry that you both had to go through so much, but it is true that justice and truth are there. It's coming forward. Truth can't be stopped. The truth can only come forward. It's a time for truth to shine through, and there's a power behind it, you know. So thank you so much for, you know, just taking the time to share with us. We're still, you know, we're learning with you, and it's very exciting and beautiful to hear it from you, because this is how we educate. This is how we learn. And you know, so many secrets and lies have been going on in this world, but now it's time for truth and people who are ready to speak it, to share it, and truth will reign again on this earth. And so we send blessings and love to you both. Thank you so much for your time and your passionate hearts, and you know, and just having the courage to continue on despite all of the obstacles, because the truth will prevail, and I believe that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Me too. I have to say thank you, Princess Rada and Princess Maya. The truth will set us free. The truth will fade for the new generation. The truth will save the entire humanity and the Lemurian kingdom that has been blasting all their kingdoms below the earth. And I pity them. But now, with this interview, that finally God Allah gave me the one person that I need really to rectify. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, King and Queen of the Maharlika Lupasug Empire, Kingdom of God. Did I say that correctly? Okay, so
Yes.
so we'd love to have another session with you for the next time, but for now, we'll cut it close, and thank you again for everything. And we are just so happy to hear the history and the complex biological combination of many bloods in your
Yay!
system.
Yay!
And the next, I think we have to open the capsule. The full volume of Mapilindo was being captured on February 2, 2002 in front of the High Court of Sabah. That is the proof.
Okay.
Full volume of Mapilindo was being captured from archive captured in February 2, 2002 before the City Hall renamed Bandaraya and the Mayor called that Bandar.
Okay, we're looking forward to the next session that we're gonna have.
Thank you so much. Much love and blessings to all. Bye for now.